Today I'm going to use mixes with black paints to paint this loose, bright, rich chrysanthemum flower. Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch, watercolor artist, teacher and a book author. Welcome to my studio. A chrysanthemum flower looks like a big ball with hundreds of small tiny petals. And we will try to recreate that. I take very diluted Alizarin Crimson because the flower consists of a lot of tiny petals. I would recommend to start very light. Let's find the center of the flower. Maybe it will be around here, and with very diluted Alizarin Crimson, could always make it darker with watercolor, but we can't make it lighter, or let's say it's not that easy to make it lighter. I create the middle, the very dense part of chrysanthemum, where all the petals comes into one small little ball. And from our point of view, we could see the front petals like a long strokes. I painted these petals from top to bottom. Now I would like to paint from bottom to top. So the petals will be slightly different in their shapes, not too symmetrical, because our point is to bring some variety and volume to our flower. Try to leave a lot of white space between petals, and when you paint the petals on the back side, you could see only small little tips of these petals. It's like you have a look on your arm and you see only these parts of your fingers, and the paper is still wet. I would like to add volume immediately. I mix Alizarin Crimson with black color with its neutral tint. I like that it has some granulation effect in it, and I add a little bit of this mixture to the bottom part of the petals. The point is to divide them and to bring more shades and contrast in it. Also, I would like to bring more contrast and shades into the middle part of the flower, because the light shines from this direction, which means the top parts of these petals are very light, but everything underneath the petals is dark. I'm not painting very detailed. I just paint few brush strokes around. Again, the paper is still wet. I add a little bit more dense of Alizarin Crimson, more bold color, and I added more to the petals, which are already on this shady part of the ball of our flower. Chrysanthemum looks like a ball. So in principle, all the shades will be similar if we paint just plastic ball. So that's the lightest part, that's the darkest part. And I know it could be slightly confusing, especially in the beginning, to get all these things about shades. So you could just check out on the reference, for example. The only thing what important to remember, that the more the petal goes down, the darker it is. If you follow that rule, everything will be beautiful and everything will be nice. So in the upper part, our flower comes a little bit more open, so we could see a little bit of details of the flower. Still, you see, I do not paint each and every petal. It's more like applying brush strokes. The more you go aside, the longer your brush strokes are. But remember to add some variety, because some petals still we could see only the short part, but more and more we could see the longer petals. And you could paint the petals from bottom to top, you could paint from top to bottom. It's always nice to add some variety. Try to remember that the petals which are on the top get more sunshine, so they are more lighter. Don't worry about the shades now. Even if we do not manage to add the shades on this stage of wet paper, we could always go with the second layer on the top. Paint few very long petals on this side, on the bottom side, and like here. I just keep adding very bold Alizarin Crimson mix into the watery wet petals. Our basement of Chrysanthemum is ready. Now let's play around with shades. I will start with black. It's mixture of neutral tint and Alizarin Crimson, and it makes it very beautiful, very bold, dark mixture. I know that some artists do not recommend to add black colored painting. In my opinion, it really brings nice contrast, and black color has these granulated effects which are very beautiful. Be careful with playing with shades. Try to leave a lot of white space in between. It creates freshness, I would say. Right here in this area, you could really feel free to add shades. With a tip of the brush, you could add a little bit of extra lines, extra strokes, because now we are moving to the fun part of creating details. With the tip of the brush, with some random strokes, we just creating the impression. I keep adding more and more dark tones. In principle, right now I add just the black. It brings a little bit of drama to the painting. Now let's take just a bold mix of Alizarin Crimson, like it is, maybe just with a small hint of black. And with the tip of the brush, we create a little bit more of details. Remember that the more you go to the bottom of our bowl, the more shades you could add. Don't touch this area which is right on the top, rather go into the bottom part. Shady parts to these leaves, a little bit from the top, so you leave a little bit of lighter space. And that's how we got this folded feeling. Right now we switch to the second layer of our watercolor. Just a small idea of intersection of petals here in the middle. I relatively random paint with my brush, with the tip of the brush, just creating some mess of lines. I would like to add just a little bit more of shade, but leaving the light area around my brush strokes. For the greenery part, I will take Cobalt Green. Chrysanthemum has relatively big leaves. I will start with the middle vine, which I decorate and turn into chrysanthemum greenery. In principle, it's similar brush strokes, which goes just in the direction from the middle vine outside. I do not go into the details. Moreover, I would like to add a little bit of black, neutral tint for the shades, and for some tips to create the volume, to create the variety in the leaf. Another leaf. First, I create some curvy line, and from that curvy line, with just wiggling my brush, I create some greenery. It adds variety. It brings all nice contrast to the flower, neutral tint. We imagine that the green leaf grows from around these, grows, and now we see it curve. From this, we put brush strokes. This leaf is more on the top, it's more on the sunshine, so I would not go too bright with it, too dark. I will just add few brush strokes, but not too much. To bring some variety, I add olive green. It's the warmer tone of green, which could make a nice contrast with this relatively cold Alizarin Crimson, relatively cold purple. Very small tiny leaf here. In principle, it's just few brush strokes around. It's a nice composition on the top, but could be slightly nicer on the bottom. I have two options to create composition in the bottom, either to put, for example, a bud or decorate it with greenery. I prefer to paint very loose bud and to show you in the same way how to paint even more loose. So you see, I just organize brush strokes. Same principle, longer brush strokes on the side which looks on us, and on this area they are shorter. I organize brush strokes in different directions, but I try to bring them from one point. So that's the main bowl, and that's the extra petals, darker shades to separate petals, a bit of darker shades in the middle. It's the same idea as we painted on the top, and I'm unsure which one I like more because I really like to paint loose, but I also like to add some details. So why not to paint everything just in one picture? Switch to my green palette. And we are almost there. And I create different greenery brush strokes around. The only thing I would really like to point out that this is chrysanthemum, not a rose, and chrysanthemum needs longer brush strokes. It has longer petals. So I just add a few of dark, longer petals here. And that's how it is. Thank you so much for painting with me. I hope you enjoyed the process. I'm looking forward to know what would you like to paint next. See you soon. Bye bye.